Revenue Secretary Sanjay Malhotra to be named as the new RBI governor. And we all know that Dr. Shaktikanta Das has his tenure getting over on 10th of December, and now we were all looking for waiting for the new name. So Revenue Secretary Sanjay Malhotra will be the new RBI governor. So this is the breaking right now, and we'll be getting in more details, also connecting with a few market guests to figure out in terms of what will be the new regime under Sanjay Malhotra. But let also give you. All right, so we have our reporter Prakash Priyadarshi to give us more details on this. Prakash, what are the details on the new name of RBI chief?
Yeah, it's a very surprising name, and it's a big development coming in. Government has appointed Revenue Secretary Sanjay Malhotra as a new RBI governor. Very big development coming in. As you are aware, that the Shaktikanta Das term is going to end on December 10, and before that, finally, the government has issued a formal notification. Remember, Sanjay Malhotra is a revenue secretary at this point of time. He is handling GST and all these big development for the government when it comes to taxes. And now he'll be in the helm of RBI governor. Before that, he was chairman IEC. He has good experience when it comes to corporates and the government affairs as well. So it's a big development coming in. It's a surprise element as well, as you're not expecting. He is in the fray. But it's a surprise element, and as you are aware that this government is known for its unusual, decisions. And this time again, Revenue Secretary Sanjay Malhotra comes as a surprise element, and he will be in the helm of RBI governor. So it's a big development. It has now come out with the formal notification. Back to you.
Sure. All right. So I'm also joined by Madan Sadnavis. Let's get his take and first comment on this. So thank you so much for joining us today. Revenue Secretary Sanjay Malhotra to be appointed as RBI governor for the period of 3 years. So how do you, your take on the name?
No, I think this was, the choice which the government has made, I think was on probably something on expected lines coming from the ministry itself. And I think the task actually for the RBI governor will be more on to ensure there's continuity, both in terms of whatever happens on the monetary side as well as on the regulation side.
As a revenue secretary, what, according to you, or what attributes would you like to mention as far as Sanjay Malhotra's tenure is concerned, and him having the rapport with corporates, or maybe the kind of mindset that's needed to take the economy ahead?
So actually, we see the mindset of the new governor who has been announced, Mr. Malhotra, and that of Mr. Das, who is currently serving as the governor. It's almost so similar, no, coming from the Ministry of Finance. So, you're able to understand everything on the fiscal side as well as on the monetary side. And as you've also mentioned, in terms when you're in the government, you also have a very close working relationship with the corporates. That is with India INC. So that will be one of the major constituencies. So I think this makes the overall issue of not just coordination, but also understanding the issues on the fiscal, monetary, as well as on the practical side. That's on the real economy side. I think you get a very good understanding of that, which makes operations of the central bank that much easier. So you don't have to really get into the groove or anything of that sort. It's something which he has already been observing very closely, sitting in the finance ministry. So now there can be a seamless kind of a transition, both for the Reserve Bank of India as well as for Mr. Malhotra.
Then, if I have to ask you about his professional personality, how do you think he is? Is he a taskmaster? Is he a tough decision maker? What would you like to call him as?
So I wouldn't know about him personally, but definitely in terms of the way in which he came across when he was in the ministry at the time of the budget formulation, budget presentation. I think a person who is very, very thorough, knows the job very well, knows inside out about what's happening in the Indian economy. I think that is most important. Very good understanding, because we've seen him in various press conferences post the budget, and also the fact that he's able to balance what's happening on the fiscal side with what is happening on the monetary side. But I think that's the job of both the governor of the RBI as well as anybody in the ministry, any of the secretaries, that both these two things have to be balanced, for which you require a very thorough understanding. So I think that's the major advantage, or the kind of the wealth of knowledge which he brings, knowledge and experience which he brings to the table.
Talking about the trajectory ahead, what, according to you, could be his initial challenges to deal with?
I think there are two things we should keep in mind. One thing is in terms of maintaining the integrity of the financial system. I think this has been continuously the task of the RBI for the last 10 years or so. So you have to make sure that any kind of policy which is announced on the banking front is proactive. You need to be anticipating what could possibly go wrong to make sure that you have the appropriate policies in place. So I think that is the primary function from the point of view of a central bank. The second thing for the governor will be, of course, how do you actually make sure that you're able to make sure that there's a free flow of funds to the productive sectors. This means this will be covering not just the monetary policy, but also everything that goes along with it, which you have to make sure that liquidity is available to the banking system, which necessarily, again, means you'll have to have a good control over what happens on the forex side, any of the decisions which are taken in terms of on the fiscal side, because all these things will finally affect the availability of liquidity in the system, because that is what's required to propel growth in future.
Thank you so much for talking to us today and giving us your time. Thank you.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.